Hey guys, we're gonna establish a poll plan all the way up to our second anniversary, which will be version 2.8. You can see 6 different teams here on your screen that will be meta in version 2.8, and you wanna get ready to be able to build at least 3 of those teams when version 2.8 comes around. We're gonna look at each and every version and what to pull for, why and when. So let's start off by looking at version 2.5, which is our current version. Let's look at the most relevant characters that we can pull right now in version 2.5, which are Noir and Jiunyangjie, plus their respective Euphoria characters with Ananli and Pickles. Now there is a huge problem with Noir because in version 2.6 we get Recoleta, which is just really a better version of Noir. So it is recommended to skip Noir and Ananli completely to save up and get yourself Recoleta, maybe even some portraits. That decision is up to you. This leaves Jiunyangjie on the table though, because she is not completely irrelevant. You can pull her as you can play her in version 2.8 in a follow-up team, because she will receive her Euphoria update in version 2.7. If you wanna do that, if you wanna go for that though, there are characters that you already need to have. You will already, you have Fatutu, there's no question about that, but you will also have the character 37 and Flutterpage. If you do not have these 2 characters, these 3 characters in fact, then GU becomes irrelevant. If you have all of these 3, it's highly recommended to pull at least 1 copy for GU. If you would already have all of those 4 characters, then pull for GU and get her up to portrait, I think 3 it was, or 2. Yeah, you gotta check for yourself, but a few more copies of GU are very important and very beneficial, I should say, because yeah, she will be in one of the best teams in version 2.8. Then yeah, Recoleta, that is even more recommended to pull for than GU, because this will be one of the strongest teams in version 2.6 and version 2.7 all the way up to version 2.8. The team gets better and better and better, and it will be here for a very long time. So pulling for Recoleta is a huge investment right out of the gate, and it's future proof as well for a very long time. What you have to keep in mind, if you pull for Recoleta in version 2.6, you have to pull right now in version 2.5 for the character Pickles, as these 2 go together no matter what. So keep that in mind. The only really must pull character, because yeah, Recoleta is also a must pull character, would be in version 2.5 Pickles. That's really about it. If you go for the Noir and Anli route though, then you have to completely skip Pickles, right? Then he is not worth it. You would then rather pull for Ananli and play the ultimate team that is recommended to play with Recoleta instead with Noir, and yeah, that would lead to you needing Ananli, so you would have to pull for these 2. Loggerhead would fit well in this team, but that is a 5. Not only is Loggerhead a 5-star, she is also part of the Liang Yue banner, who is completely irrelevant and will be irrelevant forever. So I wouldn't go out of my way and pull for a 5-star character on a different banner, as you would already have one banner with Noir and another banner with Ananli. Don't add a 3rd banner into this. This would be not recommended. You can instead slot in whatever healer you want into this team. But recommended right now, what I would recommend you is you must pull for Pickles, then wait until next version and get yourself Recoleta. That would be the most future proof and most safe route to go to. So this is what I recommend, and now we can take a deeper look into version 2.6. In version 2.6 we get both characters, Recoleta and Aleph, plus the Euphorias of Melania and Medicine Pocket. Let's first of all get Recoleta out of the way. She's an absolute must pull, unless you want to for some reason go for Noir and go the route with Ananli together. We talked about that already, but the most recommended character, what I would say is a must pull, you can't skip that, is definitely Recoleta. So with that out of the way, let's talk about Aleph real quick. He is not a must pull by any means. Even if you plan and you go for the route of investing into this impromptu team, you don't really need Aleph. You already have Baccarola, you have Voyager, you have Matilda, you will get Kiparina, who's a must pull, and you will also get access to Regulus. So Aleph is really replaceable, yeah, and not a must pull even if you play impromptu. So yeah, I would just get him out of the way, honestly. Sorry, Aleph. Then we have to talk about Melania and Medicine Pocket. Now Melania first, she is an absolute must pull, you must have her. Kind of, to be honest, because in version 2.8 we get the character Moldia, who will just straight up replace Melania. So pulling on her in version 2.6, investing into her Euphoria is, yeah, worth it, because she will have value right out of the gate for quite a long time, for 2 versions at least, because she's really strong in terms of supporting characters that are about using their ultimate, and Recoleta is one of those characters that excels at using her ultimate. So Melania is a really strong support for that. The only problem that Melania has is she will straight up be replaced in version 2.8 by Moldia. So you will have to make that decision yourself. Do you want to invest into Melania? Do you have even to pull for her? Do you own her already? Do you want to spend this the Euphoria mats, these Key of Thoughts, into Melania? That is a decision that you have to do for yourself. It is not 100% must do because of Moldia in the next 2 versions, replacing her straight up. And yeah, you have to pull for Moldia, right? That is not even a spoiler or anything. So yeah, that is a decision that you have to make for yourself. I would not put her into the category of you must go for her. It is a good decision to go for her, though. She's really strong, like, don't get me wrong, and keep that in mind, please. That is a very important note. She's very strong and a perfect fit for this Recoleta team, together with Pickles and then a healer of your choice, right? But is she really a must-have? No, absolutely not. Then Medicine Pocket is kind of the same case, because yeah, upgrading her Euphoria, you will have one of the best healer in the game in your hands. It depends though, right? Like if you play Poison Team, for example, you will have Sotheby. If you play Follow Up, you use Fatulu anyways. If you play the Ultimate Team, yeah, everything is slottable. You can put Medicine Pocket into this, but Medicine Pocket has the problem, she doesn't really fit into any team, even though she gets a Euphoria, and that's pretty, like, not a must-have, right? But don't get me wrong, she will be one of the best healers in the game, straight out of the gate, but doesn't fit in any team. So do you need her? That depends on how many healers do you already have available to yourself, and how good are these healers. Are you satisfied with these healers or not? And that's all about Medicine Pocket. Is she an absolutely must pull character? Do we have to have her in our plan? No, absolutely not. And yeah, that leaves Recoleta as the only character in version 2.6 that is truly a must-have, unless you already pulled for Noir. And that's about it. Let's move on to version 2.7. And here we have version 2.7. That's a very interesting one. We get, as pullable characters, we get Kiparina and Hisabeth, and the Euphorias will be Jiunangje and Ezra. So let's first of all talk about Hisabeth. Hisabeth is pretty skippable. Don't get me wrong when I say this, because she is a very good fit into the into the teams that use their ultimate, especially if you go the Noir route. But I would highly recommend skipping it, because she is not a must-have character, and in the next version 2.8 is the 2nd anniversary, which is very important, and you want to save all your resources that you possibly could save up. You actually want to save them up, and Hisabeth is a good character, is very slottable, but in the end, if we break everything down, she's not good enough, so she won't make the cut. But again, don't get me wrong, she's a good character, she excels in the Noir team, in the teams that use their ultimate, very slottable overall, but in the end, considering the 2nd anniversary and everything, not good enough, so that's a skip. At least I would recommend to skip her. Then we have Kiparina. Now that's a completely different beast. If you play the impromptu team, this is your 100% must pull without any arguments there. You have to 100% pull for Kiparina if you play impromptu. If you already invested your resources into Baccarola, into Voyager, maybe even Matilda, maybe you even pulled for Aleph, you know, you have to pull for Kiparina. There's no way around it. Otherwise, if you invested into Baccarola, maybe into Aleph, into Voyager, like, you will ruin your account and you have wasted tons of resources if you don't pull for Kiparina. That is only the case though if you play impromptu. Then Kiparina is an absolute must-have. No way around it. Now we can move on to our Euphoria upgrades, which is Jiunangzhe. Already talked about her, right? If you have the necessary characters for her, all 3, then it's, as I said, like a very worth investment to pull for her right now in version 2.5. She has a rerun to obtain 2, maybe 3 portraits for her, and she will be in one of the best teams and one of the best DPS characters in the game in version 2.7, in fact, because this is where she already receives her Euphoria update. So is this an absolute must-have? Only if you have the characters Flutterpage, 37 and Fatutu. Then you could seriously, like you should seriously consider going for Jiunangzhe. Upgrading her Euphoria if you have at least 2 portraits for her, right? And you pull for her right now in version 2.5. Super worth it. One of the best teams, one of the best DPS characters in the game. There you go. But keep in mind, you need 37, Flutterpage and Fatutu. Then we have Ezra, which is another 100% must pull no matter what. Pretty much. Both of the, like in version 2.7, first of all, Ezra is, even with both of her Euphoria upgrades, completely useless, unusable, forget about her. You still have to pull for her 100% because both of the new archetypes, when it comes to team building with Dynamo and Blood Ember, have to play Ezra in their team. So she has an absurdly high amount of value, like pretty much no matter what. Of course, like if you don't want to go for the Dynamo team with Ulrich and Lucy, and you don't want to go for the Blood Ember team, and you don't want to pull for Nautica, and you don't have Eternity, or you don't have Semmelweis for some weird reason, yeah, then she's not a must pull. But let's be honest, the value that she provides here in version 2.8, in the 2nd anniversary, with the new character, with the new Euphorias, and she is in must play in 2 of the new teams, like, honestly speaking, must pull. There's no way you're not gonna go for at least one of these 2 teams. So there you go, pull for Ezra no matter what, especially if you don't play impromptu and you don't pull for Kiparina. Then Ezra is even more the character to pull for and the character to invest your resources into in version 2.7. And there you go. Let's move on to the 2nd anniversary, which will be 2.8. And here we are, 2nd anniversary version 2.8, and now things gonna get crazy because yeah, we get, not only do we get 2 insanely new, 2 broken characters that are must pulls, we also get 4 incredibly good Euphorias that will be in the best teams in the entire game, all 4 of them. So yeah, we already talked about Moldia, so let's start off with her. That is an absolutely guaranteed must pull, there's no way around it. She excels in this ultimate team with Recoleta, Pickles, then Moldia, because she will replace Melania, and the healer of your choice. Honestly though, she's so broken that you can play her in any team that you want, as long as your main DPS deals damage with her ultimate. Yeah, whatever main DPS you have, if that main DPS deals damage with his ultimate, Muldir is an absolutely perfectly fine slot in there, must have even. She's completely crazy and you have to pull for her no matter whatever you like, no matter what you do, no matter what team you play, you have to pull for Muldir. Incredibly bastard. Then let's talk about the Euphorias first real quick. Jessica is gonna receive her Euphoria and she is gonna be a must-have character. If you play the poison team around Willow and Tuesday, yeah, you will slot in Sotheby, and then Jessica comes in and is the very best support in the game for this team. She makes poison deal more damage, and therefore, yeah, this is something that you can't pass up in case you play Willow Tuesday, the poison team, which is one of the best teams in the game still, and Jessica will be a must-have for that team. You cannot pass up on her then. Then Semmelweis, she's gonna be played in the Nautica team. Let's talk about Nautica really quick, because yeah, now it's getting important. So she has a new mechanic called Blood Ember. This is gonna replace the HP burn team, which was currently led by Semmelweis. Semmelweis gets her Euphoria, which turns her into more of a supportive character, which supports this new Blood Ember mechanic pretty well, and she will be played in this Nautica team. So yeah, it depends. Nautica is not, surprisingly, a 100% must pull, because she has pretty tough requirements. As you already know with Semmelweis teams, you require very specific characters. You have to play Nautica together with Eternity, first of all. You have to play Nautica together with this new Ezra Euphoria, and you probably going to need Semmelweis and her Euphoria as well. So this is very specific. There is no slot options here, replace options, no. This is gonna be the team. This is what you're gonna have to play if you want to make Nautica work. So that is what you have to keep in mind. For me personally, because I already play Semmelweis as one of my main teams, right? I'm 100% gonna go for Nautica and probably even gonna portray 5 her. So for me, this is an absolute must pull, because I commit to this team, I want to play this team, and this will be, no question, one of the best teams in the entire game, with probably what's gonna be the best DPS. So yeah, this is for me an absolute must pull, but not 100% for everyone out there. If you don't have Semmelweis and you still didn't pull for her for some weird reason, even though she has a permanent banner, and you don't have Eternity with her Euphoria, yeah, then forget about Nautica, right? And that's the problem with her. I will still put her into the must pull, because just of simply how incredibly good she is and how high the likelihood is of you already playing the Semmelweis team and you already having Eternity and stuff. Like, the probability of that happening is very high. So for me, she will definitely be a must pull as well. Then we already, like, we talked about this Ezra thing. So Regulus, that is another must-have character, but very specific. You have to play her together with this impromptu team, right? With Baccarola, with Voyager, with Kiparina, maybe Aleph, maybe Matilda, you know, it depends. So there you go. Regulus must-have if you play impromptu, and that's how easy that is. Again, this is not for everyone. But if you play impromptu, you definitely don't want to miss Regulus, and a lot of people have fun and play impromptu, in fact. So she also, I will put her into must pull. You play impromptu, you pull for Regulus, 100% guaranteed, no question about it. And that's fine. So then we have Lucy, which is also very specific. There will be a new character, Ulrich, coming out. He's for free, and yeah, you will play Ulrich together with Lucy. Lucy receives her Euphoria, and that makes it so that Lucy synergizes extremely well. So well with Ezra, in fact, that yeah, these two are a match made in heaven, and if you play one of them, you play them like together, you know? Ezra gets 2 different Euphorias. Either you play her with Nautica, or you play her with Lucy, And there you go, this is going to be the team, this is going to be one of the best teams in the game. You can slot in every single healer that you possibly want and you're going to be totally fine. So Lucy, in case you don't already have her, it depends. It's in the same ballpark as like Nordica and Regulus Jessica. All those characters are very, very specific and they fulfill a specific role in a specific team. But if you put them where they need to be, then they are absolutely incredible and they're gonna dominate the metagame. So that is worth it to put them into must pull. Lucy is also gonna belong there. Ulrich, yeah, you don't need to pull for him, he is free, yay. So there you go. And this is gonna be the pull plan from right now onwards to version 2.8. So here we go, we did it. This is gonna be the pull plan. Let's go over it in real quick succession. So 2.5, you gotta pull for Pickles because you want this for Recoleta in the future, as this is gonna be one of the best teams in the game. You can invest into Geo right now if you have Flutter Page for 22 and 37. It's pretty good, also one of the best teams, but yeah, not quite, right? It's not like top 3 or anything. So yeah, make up your mind there for yourself. Then in version 2.6, there's no way around Recoleta unless you already pulled for Noir and want to go that route. That is not recommended. So yeah, Recoleta, I would say absolutely must pull because future proof and one of the best DPS characters in the game, even in version 2.8. So there you go. Then in version 2.7 we have the must pull character Caparina. If you play impromptu, you have to pull for her 100% guaranteed. If you don't, you make a mistake. Then Ezra is completely useless in version 2.7 but is so incredibly valuable in the second anniversary on version 2.8 that you can't miss up her. Like let's be honest here at this point, right? If you say, hey, I don't want to play one of these new teams, at least one of the new teams that comes at the second anniversary, so I'm gonna skip Ezra completely. I mean, you are pretty crazy then, I'm gonna be honest. So let's move on to version 2.8 and Muldia, absolutely 100%, no way around it, must pull because way too valuable. And she's even slottable, right? You can play her with any character you want as long as that character deals damage with her ultimate. Like, this is absurdly high value. No way you skip that, ever, right? Then Regulus is skippable, but you definitely want her, you definitely need her if you play impromptu. That's about her. Jessica, if you play Willow Tuesday, Jessica must have character, no way around her then. But only then, right? Keep that in mind. These two are very specific, but if you fulfill their specific, let me say, niches, they are absolutely incredible and must-haves. Same for Nautica, right? If you play Eternity, Semmelweis, and yeah, this team around Semmelweis right now, you have to pull for Nautica, there's no way around it. But that is the DPS character, a new main DPS, and keep in mind that if you pull for Nautica, you will want to have multiple portraits. I say this over and over and over again. Anniversary characters, if they are the new main DPS characters, you have to get portraits for them, otherwise you waste your resources elsewhere. Don't get multiple copies of Nautica if you plan to play this team. Be ready for it. You have over 2 months time, so save up. Then we have Lucy's Euphoria. Also very, very specific. You need Ezra, you need Ulrich is free, Ezra is a must pull, so it's actually not that specific, right? And yeah, it's gonna be one of the best teams in the game. Lucy has an incredible value, and if you have her, invest further, invest into this Euphoria, get Ezra ready, and yeah, build up Ulrich. It's easy, it's not even that expensive, honestly, unless you cannot pull for Lucy in version 2.8. Then you would be kinda screwed and you can't play Ulrich for the time being, unless Ulrich's portraits would fix him being only slottable into this team. But yeah, we will see about that. Definitely, if you can, get Lucy, get her Euphoria, build a team around her, and you're gonna be cool. that's it. That's the pull plan from right now all the way up to the second anniversary, which is 2.8, and that's all the info I wanted to get out there. I hope that was informative and fun. If you like Reverse 1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate that. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and we love this game.